The Shaking My Head podcast features interesting discussions about topics that have frustrated the hosts, Alex and David. Each episode is meant to question the quirks of society and bring to light subjects that intrigue or bother us. If you're here because something has you shaking your head, even if it's just life, you're in the right place.
Today we have a guest speaker, Nikhil, and we're talking about crisis, death, and taxes.
You do like tax accounting, right?
Yeah, it's considered like what we consider essential service still, but I mean, I don't really see it that being that dire. Like, think you can wait a little to do your taxes.
So when they delay everything to July, does that just like push everything back for you?
Yeah, that pushes our timeline back to July 15th. So like, yeah, I mean, I'm not working like overtime anymore, which is nice, but like tax season's still going on, which is not so nice. We have to usually extend a lot of returns to the IRS and like California Franchise Tax Board. They allow you like a 6-month extension. So a lot of our clients, they need like more time for like their K1s. Like if they have any investments, it takes more time for those investments to come out or for those schedules.
So for LLCs and S corps and whatnot, what were you saying about K1s?
Well, I mean, there's like a 6-month extension period for even S corps, LLCs.
Really? I thought the deadline was March 15th.
It was March 15th, but then if you file an automatic extension, it would be like
oh, right. Okay, the normal extension.
Like,
you still have to pay your taxes, but you have to pay your taxes, but you can get an extension for your filing. Yeah, that's okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know Jackie, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. She basically didn't pay. She's in LLC taxes and S corp, and she didn't pay herself a payroll. She also didn't file by March 15th, and so she started asking me all these questions like after the 15th. And she's like, "No, there's been an extension." I was like, "I don't think that's the case for S corp."
Yeah, she still has to file an extension.
Right. But I don't even think she filed an extension, so I don't know what's going to happen to her.
Well, and when did she create her LLC? Probably like in 2018, right?
Yeah, that's my guess.
So she wouldn't have to pay. What else did she say?
What she said also, she said she's going to retroactively pay herself. Her payroll. I was wondering how that's going to work.
I mean, why does it even matter if she pays herself?
Well, because as an S corp, you pay yourself on a payroll, right? And then you end up doing is it K1? And then that's basically your leftover, your distributions. So then, if she didn't pay herself a payroll, then how is she going to tax her income?
By not paying herself. But I mean.
But you're supposed to pay yourself a reasonable salary, right?
I'm not really sure. I don't really go into like payroll necessarily. All I know is that even if she's not, even if she doesn't make any income, and she just has expenses, she still has to pay like a $800 like franchise tax.
But that's just for the state. That's not federal taxes.
Yeah, it's just for the state. But for federal, normally if you're not making a profit, you don't own anything.
Oh, she's definitely making a profit because she's a consultant, and so it's just basically all consulting income. And I don't know where her expenses are, but I don't think her expenses are over $100,000. So. The whole thing is just like
expenses $100,000.
But the whole problem is
Maybe,
like she asked me all these questions after the deadline, and I was like, and then she's like, I have an accountant helping me. I was like, well, so did you do this, this, and this? She's like, I did do this and that, and it's like, I
shit.
don't know, but if you have an accountant helping you, I feel like that accountant can help you because she obviously doesn't know anything about
So
setting
with
up
her
an S.
LLC, she probably is filing. I'm assuming it's a single member LLC. So
Yeah.
that means she has to fill out to Schedule C on her individual income taxes, as well as filing it's like a Form 568 for California. So she doesn't have to file anything.
Is this Schedule
federal.
C? But no, but if she's taxed as an S corp, then it's not Schedule C, right? Isn't it
No,
1120S that you fill out like an 1120S, I think.
For just a single
yeah,
member?
for an S corp.
No,
Well,
if
I
you're
don't
single
know.
member LLC, straight up an LLC, then you just do a Schedule C. But if you're taxed
Okay,
as
she's
an
an S
S corp, if you're taxed as an S corp, then you do an 1120S, and then you also file a K1
Yeah,
for
she
your
doesn't need a
distributions.
Schedule C
Sounds
then.
like
Yeah, you're
someone's
right.
going through that.
I mean, I had to deal with all this bullshit, and I did my research. I'm still not 100% sure about this, but I know at least the basics, and I know it's just like I should listen to my friend. It's a pain in the ass to do because you have to pay yourself payroll, you have to pay taxes every month to I think to this to the for federal, and then you have to do quarterly taxes to the state of California for your salary, unemployment.
It's
Yeah.
really a pain in the ass.
Oh, I've learned it's a pain in the ass, and I'm kind of regretting it now.
Did you
Shit.
file for EIDL?
I did, but I didn't get my $1,000 yet. I got my PPP loan though.
Oh, maybe that overrides. I don't know.
I have no idea. Like the thing is everything is so ambiguous. You don't know what's actually going to happen.
And I
Yep.
heard a lot of companies were like returning their loan because they're actually not small business. Like Shake Shack returned 10 million.
Well, the reason Shake Shack said they returned it is because I think they found other funding somehow or another.
Mhm.
But I think there's also bigger businesses that are taking out these huge loans, and like even though so basically I think it's if you have less than is it 50 or 500 employees, you can get a PPP loan. There's certain requirements,
I
but
think
also
it's
the thing,
I think
yeah,
it's 500 because I heard like Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
yeah, yeah.
They got a loan too, and then they came under fire for like people were like, why the hell are you getting a loan? You guys make hundreds of millions of dollars. And yeah, I get like now they're not, but still.
Well, so the other thing is you can take a PPP loan and it's basically like if you don't satisfy all the conditions, it's a 1% interest loan. So from a business perspective, to have a 1% business loan so that you can use it for whatever expenses you want for a business, that's pretty much unheard of. Like 1% is virtually nothing for a loan. So, but here, okay, let's talk about like, these businesses that are considered bigger being put under scrutiny or whatever. I heard that 6 billion, or I read somewhere that 6 billion out of the $350 billion that was distributed the first round, that 6 billion actually was actually all fees for loans. So think about that. $6 billion that could go to other businesses once it's some bullshit loan fees.
Is it fees like processing?
I think so. I mean, whatever fees are related to these PPP loans, which I'm guessing is a processing fee. I mean, what else could it be?
I mean, it's probably. That's a good question.
And then what I learned is I had to go open up another bank account the other day, and I was talking to a banker at Wells Fargo. They said actually the SBA controls the whole process. So basically, the banks are just the middlemen. But then Wells Fargo, didn't they say like within the first few days of the PPP loan, like the applications they got, they said, "Oh, we're using our own money now, so we're not accepting any more loans." So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's what, but it's very interesting.
I think that's an overall problem with the government because
Oh yeah, for sure.
They what? They had 350 billion in the first round. I don't even know who got this money. Where did it go? And then they approved another 450 billion. Where did that
No, it's
go?
like 312. It's like 310 or something.
Another 310. Okay, so there's like
But
there's like 700 billion out there. Did it really go anywhere?
well, so I heard the second round of loan. Well, this is what the banker told me. He said some of it's going to PPP and some are going to other programs that they have. So it's not all fully going to PPP, but I don't know. I don't know where all this money's going because the crazy thing is a lot of the money's already gone, and then a lot of companies are like everyone I know still hasn't gotten their PPP loan. I think my parents just got theirs, or is in the process of getting theirs. So it's basically a shit show. And the other thing I was going to say about, all these programs and stuff is all they're going to do is print more money, inflate money more, and it's just going to become everyone else's problem in the future. It's going to be a whole bunch more IOUs in pocket.
Yeah.
So
Has your company laid off anyone yet?
me or Nico?
I guess either of you guys. Open question.
Sorry,
Nobody's
was that-
been laid off in our
Oh.
company.
How big is your company, Nikhil?
There's like 20 employees, 21 employees.
Oh, that's
Oh,
small.
It's pretty,
That's kind of
it's
small.
pretty small. I'm actually
Have you guys-
surprised they didn't lay off any employees yet.
Has anyone got furloughed or anything, or
No.
have you guys lost clients yet? From
Some
close
clients
down?
have gone bankrupt, but we didn't really lose any clients. I mean, they just can't pay their fees. So either we drop them as a client or
Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
But your busy season's over for now, right? Until August, September?
Yeah, it's pretty dead. I mean, we might have another busy season right around July 15th, probably June 15th to July 15th might get a little hectic.
Okay.
But it doesn't really seem like, other than a few clients, there's no really rush right now.
So let me
People are
ask you.
just
That's
still
nice.
hustling. Yeah.
I don't know
Just
if you
chill.
know the answer to this, but if someone files for bankruptcy, what happens? Is it just I don't have to pay the federal taxes? Is it just my credit takes a hit and you're just shit out of luck? The money's gone?
No, you can't escape taxes. You gotta.
I think it's
pay.
basically people, vendors you owe money to and stuff like that, they can't come after you. But I would say, yeah, I think taxes to the federal government, they will still come after you because it's the government.
Yeah,
guess.
I think there's a proceeding of what you have to pay. There's unsecured filers and then there's secured. It just depends on who you owe money to or who you're paying.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, it could get really complicated depending on how many parties are involved.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just hear all these things maybe it's just dramatized in the news, but it's oh, I'm a millionaire and then I just file for bankruptcy because I can't pay people and some of these loans get forgiven because it's just too much work to try to go after it and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the question is why do we need such big loans? Why do we need such relief? I know it's to help keep businesses afloat, small businesses, but large corporations, do they really need all this funding? That just means they weren't doing well operationally before
Right.
this whole thing.
Well, I mean, all these airlines got bailed out by the government. That's pretty bullshit too.
It is bullshit, but we kind of rely on them. Once this thing's over, we're gonna need airlines again, right?
Yeah, we do. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's just oh yeah, if they're going to shit, then we're just gonna bail them out, and that's that.
But I definitely
what's gonna
agree that
incentivize them? Yeah.
if let's say an airline is inefficient, they shouldn't be bailed out.
Well, that means.
But how do you
every
judge
airline
whether
except,
they're
two, right? All airlines pretty.
But how do you judge whether they're inefficient or not
Yeah.
before they go bankrupt or whatever it is? I mean,
Well, the judgment is if you can't weather this crisis, you weren't efficient enough. I don't know.
But here's the problem: you can't also have monopolies either. So
That's
you can't
true.
have monopolies. Then what are you gonna do? Bail them out? I guess is the only thing you can do. Because otherwise, I think we were talking about this last week. If an airline goes under, that just means whichever airline is surviving well enough or has the capital is going to buy them out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think a lot of people think of corporations as like, like big evil, like just has ton of money sitting around. But I mean, at the end of the day, they have like their employees are just average people, So if we're bailing out the corporation, we're also bailing out the employees that work for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have jobs anymore.
It's a tricky situation.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I think
Sadly, yes. It is what it is. Sadly, yes.
I believe it was Delta's CEO that announced, or not announced, it was like discovered. I guess it was leaked, but apparently he's foregoing 6 months of his salary
Really?
this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's either Delta or maybe Southwest. Some airline, a big airline. He's foregoing 6 months of his salary, but
how
his
much is he
salary
making?
is up there. I think his salary is 13
millions?
million. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, 6.5 million can go a long way. Okay. That's crazy how a CEO makes 13 million for operating an airline. That, to be honest, like airlines in America are all shitty. You're picking the best, the worst. So you're getting paid $13 million to do what? Sit in meetings all day long?
I guess. I mean,
Damn, I want that. I want that job.
that's a very incentive question though, because if you didn't pay CEOs this high, then like,
They
are you
should
going to
get
get the
paid.
best quality CEO?
I don't know, but
mean-
are they? But the question is, are they even good CEOs to begin with? Because airlines are shitty here in America.
Well, we did see a lot of CEOs step down, just
Yeah.
because they weren't really sure how to deal with the crisis, and
Right.
a lot of the burden lies on them to help the company out, and I think it's too much for them to. They're like, it's just easier for me to step down,
I feel like that's just bailing out at that point. You're like, it's not my problem anymore. It's yours. You can figure it out from here.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have to go find, like, if they want another CEO, they're gonna have to go find one, right? And then how are you gonna go find one right now? Is it just like one CEO drops out from this company, goes to the other one, and if they can't stand the pressure from that one, they're like, okay, I'm out as well, and I'll just
They just
keep
promote the
jumping
number
ship.
two.
Yeah, they got to promote within. That's it.
What the maybe?
That's what
what
my
the-
company did. My CEO
Really?
stepping down in June.
Oh man,
He's retiring.
all these. Okay, if he's retiring.
It was a good time to step down, You're not making any profits. It's not much incentive to stick around, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of lay low for a while. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just stay on the
Find a new
board. I
job.
think he stays on. He maintains a voting. He's a chair or a board of director.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to just say though that I think even with the loans you get for all these loans that these companies are getting, they're only having to pay 1%. And for the
they don't satisfy conditions.
Yeah, and for the EDIL, I guess it doesn't get taxed. I don't know how that's going to happen.
I don't know. I don't even know if the PPP loan's going to get taxed or not. They didn't say anything. It's just your loan's forgiven if this happens. Like you meet these conditions. If you don't meet these conditions, then it's basically a 1% loan. Interest loan is what I read.
What's
And
the
then you
thing
can-
that you said about not having to pay back a certain amount? I feel like you can just take advantage of that, right?
Well, so if you do a PPP loan, I think there's a few things you have to satisfy. Basically, like you have to maintain the same number of employees by a certain time, so you can't really like fire off people. I think you have to maintain or use. I think you have to use 75% of something like that for payroll.
75% of the forgiven amount must be used for payroll. Yeah.
Right, and then you can use some of it for utilities and some other things. Basically, like utilities, rent, stuff to keep the company operating. So basically, there's like a list of conditions you have to basically fulfill. And if you do, they completely forgive the loan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
So basically, you just get that money.
Right, but what does
And then
that mean? Like, does that mean next year the people who got the PPP loan, those companies will get audited?
I think they get audited when you ask. So you basically have to ask for forgiveness for the loan. And I think you get audited then because they have to go through your records
Right.
to see where the money went. And that's when I think you get audited. Maybe you'll get audited the next year. I don't know. But I think you're there. The thing is, I don't know. It's just stuff I've been reading and how I'm interpreting it. But it sounds like they basically have to make sure the money you took went to the right places and satisfies all these conditions. And then if so, then your loan gets forgiven. If not, then you pay the loan back with a 1% interest rate for over 2 years.
I don't like that method. I mean, the whole.
It sounds shady, right? It sounds like you could completely be denied.
Well, the whole like process of I give you money before I get it back, before I do any checks is completely.
Well, so they asked for. So when I did my application, you fill out an application. You basically say what your monthly payroll is, and then I think you multiply by like 2.5 or something, which is like your maximum loan amount. And then they're going to ask you for your W-2, your W-3s. They ask for your payroll for the last year. So they ask you for information.
So you had to submit that, or you're just saying you just had to type in the numbers?
You submit them all those documents.
Oh, okay.
And then
and do you have to submit your tax returns too?
Not my returns. I don't. Well,
okay.
No, not my returns because yeah, it was W-2, W-3. It was like articles of organization basically saying like this is. I think I had to send that just to prove that I actually had a business. I also had to do the articles. It was the operating agreement documents, and then you had to show what your payroll was for the last year, and also you have to. Oh, hey, Katie.
Nice.
And then you also have to have. You also have to have been in business since February 20th. By the way, my cat's here and she's playing on the projector. She's like out of projector with the cat video, and she just goes up there and she's like pulls the shit out of everything. You should try it sometime with a TV or something, but it's kind of fun to watch.
What kind of cat is that?
I don't know. It's not roommates though.
Oh.
Did you ever get another roommate, Nikhil?
Yeah, but he's moving out end of May. I'm moving out end of May, so.
Oh, where are you moving to?
I'm looking at that right now. All the rent has dropped off the board, so market's like perfect time on the market.
Well, I may be moving out of my place if you want to take over.
It seems kind of expensive though.
$1,600, is that expensive?
Yes.
You'll have to share a bathroom. You have to share a bathroom though, but it's in Soma, Fidei, so it's walking distance to work.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, but we have a 4th person living in the living room, and I share with her. So, but if you're interested, let me know because I'm probably moving out sometime or probably before July.
Oh, nice. Where are you moving to? You know yet?
So my sister's roommates they're having a kid, so they're planning on moving somewhere. But they've been in Boston until they're coming back Sunday. So basically, since shelter's in place, they've been in Boston, and so they said they're planning on moving out either before, like right after they have the kid. And I think the plan was July. So, I mean, if you want to take over my lease, then I might just put my stuff in storage or something and just wait till my sister's roommates move out and just move in there.
Dang,
So hit me
no,
up.
that sounds like too much. I don't know.
When's
I don't wanna take over
shelter
a
in
lease,
place
but-
end?
Why 2 months? So it got the shelter in place got extended another month. So I think the end of May, or if it's another month, June 3rd maybe.
Well, I just got myself tied into this lease. It was like a 10K security deposit and stuff.
10K, Jesus. Is it like
Oh.
2 months rent?
Yeah, it was like 5K each for me and my original roommate, and then he left. So like a new roommate moved in without him paying a security deposit,
Yeah.
and like things got weird with me and like the landlord. Landlord, it's like he's a stickler on following the rules, and it was like weird. Like if I was to leave the lease but my roommate wasn't, then like the new people would reap the benefits of the security deposit, and then
Wait, what? I thought.
it was really weird. So I was just like, I just want to end this lease and get
But
my
how it
money
should work
back.
is how much. I think in San Francisco, my understanding is how it works is usually if someone takes over your lease, then you're fine, and basically whoever takes over your lease pays you the deposit because your landlord has your deposit.
Yeah.
And as long
So like, it's just hard to find someone that's gonna pay me 5K though, right?
it really should be 10K, but
Yeah,
that seems
exactly.
kind. What was is your rent five grand a month?
No, it's only like it's 3,800.
So why is it?
Oh shit!
Oh, I think they want like 2 months rent probably plus the security deposit.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. It
Well,
was ridiculous.
Wow.
if you, I mean, my deposit's like 400.
That seems way more chill, but I'm
Yeah.
looking with another person. So
Okay. Well, let me know if you're interested. If not, I mean, I feel like my room is pretty easy to rent out at that price in Soma. So
You're gonna, Nikhil, you're gonna move yourself?
or what do you mean, like have renters move it for me?
I mean, are you gonna have people help you move? Because what about this like masks and gloves situation?
I'm not too worried. Like, I'll probably have some movers help me on the day of. But, like,
okay. Do you have a lot of stuff or?
I do, but it's not that much stuff. I mean,
Oh,
it's
and
like
when
my
you
office and my bedroom shit.
okay, when you moving in with Haley, or you guys already moved in?
Oh no, I don't know if we're gonna move in together yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna take a while. I think it's healthy to have your own places.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
keep that social distance for sure.
What, Nikhil, you don't trust your girlfriend? You think she's gonna get you sick?
No,
That's a perfect excuse. You gotta be
I'm
like,
just
hey,
kidding. I'm just
hey,
giving you
I'm just
shit.
trying to stay healthy. Come on.
No, I've
Well-
been breaking the rules when it comes to that. Like I've been hanging out with my girlfriend. I mean,
I hang out with my
we
sister.
were already like hanging
so-
out with each other before everything hit the fan. So it's like,
I mean, as
you
long
know.
as you guys trust each other and you guys aren't having like a huge rage or anything, I think it's fine.
No, I'm just
Yeah, I
messing
mean,
with you guys.
I'm actually surprised by how many people like really follow all the guidelines. And
Oh,
it's
have you
like,
seen people walking on the street? They're like seriously maintaining a 6 foot distance.
yeah.
Anyways,
I thought
It's funny
California
that
was having
they're-
problems with like people on the beaches.
Well,
yeah, but you don't go well, actually, so hold on real quick. Speaking of that, my sister's friend and her boyfriend, they went to a beach in, I don't know where, somewhere in the Bay Area. They got caught, $1,000 a person.
Wow.
Shit's real.
damn,
Yeah.
that's unreasonable.
So a cop just gives them a ticket? Dang.
That sounds like something that like you'd say, oh, that sucks until it happens to you, and then you're like, damn, that really sucks.
Yeah. But
But,
did you hear about like a nightclub getting shut down or something? Like they've been apparently running through like a decent amount of the shelter in place and stuff. Yeah. But I bet you there's some people who will go there because they have they're so bored they can't stay at home. They're like, I have to go out to a club for some reason.
Well, that and there's also like, you know, right when this ban uplifts, they're gonna be like thousands of people going to the clubs. I'm like, is that
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm not doing that. I'm staying home for another like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm gonna let everyone else reinfect themselves and see how it goes, and then I'll be like, you guys are fucking idiots.
dude, that's a smart approach to take, but
It is.
yeah, it's like people are like kind of like just following blindly, which I don't think is smart. Like, you know,
David, do you want
common sense?
Yeah, people don't have common sense. David, do you want to tell Nikhil how the situation in Georgia is right now?
Georgia's retarded. Georgia's like
very, very. It's Georgia. It's like all the southern states, like Georgia, Florida, Texas. Tell them about it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw in the news, like the governor announced they opened bowling alleys, gyms, fitness centers, salons.
I think there's one other thing.
Something else. They did that last Friday, and there was this weekend. I actually had to go check on my rental. And there was traffic on the road because there are a shit ton of people driving outside. And if you go out during the day... This is the
classical shaking my head right here.
If you go out during the day, there's tons of people on the street. And they're kind of social distancing, but not really. I mean, how much can you social distance when there's literally like a person every 10 feet walking, trying to get their exercise in. They're wearing masks sometimes. People walking their dogs.
Piedmont Park, the Beltline. So we have this thing called the Beltline, which is kind of like it's planned to be like a little like circular track around the city, and it's just like it's meant for people to exercise to get around Atlanta. But yeah, apparently people are just like flocking the park because good weather and they can't stay at home. And I mean, if you're in a park, you may be distancing enough, but there's a chance that you could pass someone and still get infected, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is the South. Like, I live in an
They're
area
also
where
protesting, right, to not shelter in place.
Sure, they protest like the. I don't know about Georgia because it's like too late, but I think in Detroit they're protesting the governor because the governor in those areas where they're keeping shelter in place as opposed to opening, there's a lot of people who are protesting. We're the experimental state. Us in Florida.
The other stupid thing is they like opened up these businesses that David talked about last Friday, and then shelter in place actually stops tomorrow, right? Or today.
Like
today or it's either today or tomorrow. So they're like, oh yeah, you should shelter in place, but we're gonna open these businesses before shelter in place ends. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, and there's even some specific restaurants have dine-in options right now.
What the fuck? Why? I'm like the Bay Area just extended their shelter in place for another month, and you're going to be opening shit up tomorrow?
Because
what the hell is wrong with you guys?
Our governor cares about. He's more worried about losing money than he is about saving lives. Because I guess when you're not seeing it like in your face, he doesn't care. Like, these people don't care because the death rate is high. It's like 3.4%, 4%, but it's not high enough so that you see someone dying in the streets. So they're like, oh, it's not that bad, so we're just going to open up the state. Whatever. Well, and I don't know how you keep like gyms hygienic, or unless you wipe down the whole place after everyone uses.
You're gonna have someone like wiping down every single machine after someone's off of it. I don't know, dude. And then you're like, oh well, you can't use this machine because you're not 6 feet apart.
And everyone's breathing hard. Like, you're walking around breathing hard, so the air's all jacked up.
Shoot, I was about to say, you know, if they reopen the gym, I'd probably still go. But after hearing this discussion, I'm like reconsidering it. I don't think
You're like, wait a minute, I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah.
people breathing hard and sweating all over the place. I
It's
don't
like,
know.
well, the funny thing is like you're trying to be healthy, but then it could kill. But then going to the gym could actually kill you trying to be healthy. It's the
Yeah,
irony, right?
man, it's tough. I would still go. I need to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Do you not work
That's-
out at home?
No, I'm like lazy. It's just like hard to work out at home. You know, I could do like push-ups and stuff, but like
What's
I
your
gotta
usual
do
workout
that.
routine at the gym?
I usually hit like either like chest or arms,
Okay.
or sometimes I just have a day for back and legs. You know, like separate days for my
Yeah, that
chest,
makes
back,
sense.
and legs.
Oh.
It's kind of hard
Can't
to
skip
do
leg
any
day.
of that without a bench press or a bar. A
You could
barbell.
always order one and have it shipped to your house, to your apartment, I guess.
Yeah,
Or your
I can, but like I'm just hoping this thing just like blows over soon. So I
about
know it's not.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
But I
about
mean,
to
it's
move.
it's
It's gonna
another
be, like,
month,
extra
man.
stuff.
Another month.
Yeah, I know exactly. I don't want to buy more stuff.
But it
especially
might
when
get-
we moving year to
But I
year.
heard it's gonna get worse in the winter. COVID-19.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
even think about it that far. I'm just hoping
I-
this is all done before football season starts.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, so the NBA is gonna get canceled, and then was it baseball's canceled,
It seems like
and then
people
they're
don't
gonna
really
cancel football.
No, it seems like people don't really care about basketball and baseball getting canceled, but like football getting canceled is like unheard of. I don't know. That's my take.
I agree. I don't think they'd cancel football. There's too much money on the line.
Oh, it's MLB. That's right. Yeah, but didn't some basketball players get coronavirus or something? Or they just
Yeah,
got?
it's true.
Doesn't matter. There's money on the line. They'll just wait it out.
They're just gonna sacrifice like Peyton Manning, all this stuff
Yeah. I mean,
for the greater good.
they kept the draft. Did you watch the draft online, Nikhil?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I think the NBA is more profitable, so they could continue running even if they're like shut down for a bit.
Mm.
But I'm not sure about the NFL. Like, I don't think they would want to lose any money.
I mean, I think they wouldn't, but who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so if they did that and there was still COVID-19, would they basically just like have the football players play and then just have no one in the stands? Or would they sell seating so that you have to stand 6 feet apart from each other? Or
know
something
what-
like that.
You
I
know
don't
what
think
they
there'd be
could
any
probably do? Pay
That
per
would
view.
make prices go up. Yeah, pay-per-view, maybe.
They
But it
would,
wouldn't be kind of weird as a football player to not have like fans cheering or fans in the crowd.
Yeah, that'd be really weird.
it would
Gotta
be.
be
What's the
really
point of
awkward.
having home field advantage if you
There's no sports fans.
Yeah.
Exactly, or home field advantage. Yeah, that's right.
They can just pipe in some crowd noise. It's all good.
Yeah, what about the people?
I mean, human safety. I mean, you can't have crowds, period.
I don't know.
I mean, this is the mentality of, and like we were saying before, when the shelter in place goes away and they open up everything, that first week, people are gonna be like,
It's gonna be a shit
Flocking.
show because everyone's like, "Oh, I've been cooped up for so long. I have to go out. I
Yes.
I must go out and infect myself."
there were
It's basically
people lining up at like, I heard it was like 5-6 a.m. to go get these haircuts on Friday.
But hold on. Speaking of haircuts, have you seen the stay-at-home haircuts? Some of them are hilarious. Or like it's like a bowl cut, like literal bowl cut, or it's just like really really bad haircuts, and it's kind of funny to watch. But anyways, you're saying 5 to 6 a.m. lining up for haircuts,
Right.
and then what else?
No, I mean, they're trying to. There's going to be a mass of people when shelter in place ends, going everywhere, like restaurants, clubs. It's going to be packed. I
But
mean,
on the other,
we all know it's stupid, but there's just so many people who would do that, and that's the point.
however,
There's just people in this world who are like, I'll sacrifice it because I've been cooped up so long.
But on the other hand, how many businesses are going to survive after this? Because I read somewhere that potentially 50% of the restaurants in San Francisco will no longer be open after this whole fiasco.
I was walking through like Hayes Valley, and it looked so dead. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, try going to Fillmore. It's all boarded up. Everything is
Yeah.
boarded up. It seems like a fucking ghost town. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
It is. It's just you never imagine, like a whole street to be pretty much empty, but it is, and all boarded up. It just looks like people just kind of boarded up and just kind of left town, and that's that. But in reality,
Yeah.
everyone's just at home.
I wonder if people were able to, if they were able to predict this, would they like change their majors, do something else? I don't know.
I think so.
Into what? Like not be in medicine anymore? They're like, there's
Maybe. I
so
don't
much
know, man.
stress.
Yeah, it's even more stressful than it is now. It's crazy. Like for to be in the medical profession.
Well,
Like
speaking
it's
about
not
being
worth the payout.
It's not, and I mean, I think the craziest thing is how do these doctors like run around with masks on? Like, I just walk around for 10 minutes. I'm like, this shit's uncomfortable as it is, but they have to do this like all day long. And
It's uncomfortable, but like when you see people coughing and shit, you're scared.
That'd be so.
I mean, I don't care if people cough, just don't cough like openly. Like, at least cover your mouth, right?
I don't know. If you're in a hospital, I would not trust any air. I would definitely be keeping the mask on.
I feel like I'd get sick. Like, I don't know.
Even all these kids like coming out of school that are supposed to graduate next month.
Virtual graduation.
Going to college, or people who are coming out of college, like.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have like 1,000-person Zoom chat. Oh, well, that's true. So, speaking of that, is it worse? Do you think it's gonna be worse to get a job now, or back in 2008 when the recession kicked in?
Because it's definitely worse now, I think.
Well, but the thing is, back in 2008, like nobody was hiring, right? Because nobody was making like any money. Now there's still companies that are still surviving, right?
Yeah.
But they just might be hiring less. So I would imagine it's better now than back in 2008. But you're saying it's better. It's actually worse now, right? Than in 2008.
Well, it depends on what industry you're in. Like.
Yeah, that's true. Like in the restaurant industry, definitely not. But
yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. But let's talk about like an engineering job or
entrepreneurship should die down right now. Like the number of new companies, let's say per month.
Well,
that should be going down.
You could be taking advantage of the current situation.
Yeah, you have those free time that there's gonna be a lot of businesses that come out of this.
Right, because you'd be like, you could be doing businesses that have to do with sheltering at home or working from home, or providing like stuff like providing tools that'll help first responders, doctors, stuff like that. But it's also it's also a very limited like, subsection of what most people are doing. But you could also still like change your focus and be an entrepreneur in whatever is related to the current situation.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, if your job was anything that you couldn't do at home, like I don't know, like if you're creating apps, I guess you're good. But if you're
not always,
if you're trying to like open a restaurant, no one's opening a restaurant. Period.
Yeah,
that's true.
A lot of good apps came out of the 2008 recession. Like Uber, WhatsApp, Groupon. So we're gonna see the same kind of effects, in 2021, 2022. But yeah, I mean, like if you have a job right now, it's not that hard to get another job. But I think the gap, the experience gap, and the wage gap is gonna grow even larger, due to like all these graduates. They won't even have a job right now, and the people that do have a job, like recent grads, they're benefiting big time. Like there's no new competition.
There's no new competition.
I guess
they're
that's
like
true.
They're building their experience and they're reaping the most benefit out of entry level workers.
Speaking of that, Nikhil, does your company hire? I know you said you're only like 20 some people. Does your
Yeah.
company actively hire a lot or not really? Like seasonal help
Um,
or anything?
no, they really don't actively hire. We did bring in like 3 new employees in January.
Hmm.
I think the firm though overall probably regrets that, uh, just because now we don't have much use for those employees, or like at least 1 or 2 of them. Like they just have
Right.
limited amounts of work.
Hmm.
So they were actually looking to expand, but now they've kind of like leveled off because they probably realized it costs too much to bring a new employee in right now. And
Right. But I mean, they hired these employees before they knew this whole situation was going to happen. So,
yeah, that's correct.
Right.
We
oh,
we rented out extra office space, so
oh dang.
and we
Okay.
expanded our offices, so that's kind of what led to the expansion, hiring more
Gotcha.
employees.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's very little turnover. I'm actually surprised, and because like in accounting, there's a lot of turnover.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was actually surprised. Like only one employee got fired last year, and only like I guess 4 new employees were brought in. So
Oh. So that means you're probably working for a good company then in that case.
yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with the company I'm working with right now. But I
That's
am
good.
getting a lot of offers for where
Oh
I'd be
wow.
making a
Even
lot
right
more money.
now
Yeah,
in
I
this
just
current
haven't
situation
really
or
looked into them. Yeah, you know, I'm actually surprised that people are still hiring. But like I said, people are only going to hire if they know you're still employed. Otherwise, I don't think they want to take a chance on
Mhm.
someone that's struggling to find a job.
Yeah. That's
So you're
true.
gonna hold off until you really feel a need to move on?
I'm going to move on when I think I can't learn anymore. I think that's
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So nothing's being impacted by. Well, I feel like I'm not really impacted by COVID-19 as much as a lot of other people.
Right. I mean, all you really need is a computer and a printer, I guess, and internet.
Yeah, I don't have a
So
printer, unfortunately.
do you have to don't you see people's tax returns and stuff? Does that all have to be encrypted, I guess now? Well, I guess it always was.
Um, yeah, I mean, it depends on like our like security system. Like before I don't think before we were able to run on the cloud. Like our servers were in the office, and you can't really work remotely.
Right.
But our company was working on making the move prior to this whole crisis happening, so it
Hmm.
made the transition much easier. So
That's
now
good.
I think we're all on like a cloud, and I'm not really sure how the secure part works, but it seems like all the files are pretty secure, and like whenever we do send like sensitive documents, we like password protect the PDF, but you know, that's all I know in terms of security.
I mean, you can only do so much. Everyone's, at home. You only have the computer you have.
Yeah, actually, we're taking advantage of everyone being at home because it's like the best time to reach out to clients. Because once the ban's uplifted, there's people are not going to want to do their taxes. They want to be outside. So I'm like
They
trying to take
want to be
advantage
inside.
of trying to make sure that all the clients that we don't have any information on, I'm trying to make sure we get that in May, or at least like have some kind of contact with the client now, so we don't lose
Yeah.
that when people are out and about next few months.
I'm sure it's frustrating when you can't get the information you need from a client and you have a deadline. So,
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of stupid. It's like why does the client want us to do our taxes? Want us to do their taxes when they can't even send us the information? You know.
because he's stupid. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then there's always the concern of I usually request what items I need from a client, but you never know what new investments they made during like 2019. Let's say they open up a new bank account, like I don't know how much, I don't know what accounts they opened up, so I can't really unless they tell me. I have no clue.
Right, and you can't close books unless you know everything that they've done.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, usually the clients send us their financials, so we don't have to like do much bookkeeping. So we have to just check with the clients, or if we do have like access to like the QuickBooks online, we simply just ask the client, "Hey, are your books closed?" And then we can proceed with doing their taxes.
Oh, so speaking of like QuickBooks and whatnot, what do you recommend for a tax software or like payroll tax software?
Payroll tax software. So we use CCH. It's like Pro Systems.
Yeah.
Payroll though, we use.
What about like a one-person business? Something cost-effective.
I don't know. I filed like payroll forms, but like I don't know. You delve into that. Like I don't know what's the best provider and stuff like that.
Okay. No worries. Just curious if you had any experience or not.
My payroll experience is mainly just generating the information, like getting, if you filed like 1099s, we can like file your 1099s for you, and
okay.
like you said, for other like S corps and corporations, they have like quarterly filings, so I deal with that. There's like a Form 940 and Form 941, and then there's also some California specific forms. So that's done quarterly, and then there's also like payroll tax.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm used to like doing all those filings, but I'm not sure in terms of like what's the best providers, especially for small businesses like Jack's. I have no clue.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Alex trying to get the insider scoop.
I'm just asking for any recommendations is all. So it's fine. Just out of curiosity.
I mean, right now, what do you use? QuickBooks and TurboTax?
I use QuickBooks for payroll and direct deposits, paying taxes, but it's a yearly subscription, so it expired like earlier this month, and I need to figure out something else. I don't really like QuickBooks, so I want to use something else, but a lot of the payroll stuff online is like $30 a month, which I feel like is a little pricey. But they say they guarantee all your filings, and they say like they'll file your taxes for your business for you or something like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, but then again, I've gotten penalties for not paying on time, and it's like $100 some every single time. So maybe I'm better just to use that service if they can guarantee that I'm not going to get any fines, and they'll guarantee that everything gets filed and paid correctly. But the thing is, like, honestly, all you have to do is just make sure you pay on time, and you probably won't get any penalties, and you file things on time. I mean, then again, for the extra $100, $200, it's probably worth it just to have them do it for you. Because you have to worry about your time.
Is it true that if you owe money, as opposed to the IRS owes you a refund, that you're less likely to get audited?
Nikhil?
If you owe money, you're less likely to get audited. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Rather than getting a refund.
I'm in a situation where it's both right now. I owe money, but I'm trying to get that figured out. But I'm pretty sure if I file my personal refund, I'm gonna be owed money. So
for individuals, I think it's like kind of random. I mean, one thing that triggers an audit is like let's say you have like a small business, and you have a lot of expenses. Like your expenses exceed your income by like a huge amount. Then that's usually like a red flag.
Right.
Especially when you're using like your home. If you like, let's say your home is like considered your side of business.
Okay,
your home office. Those things get audited because you can only take a deduction based off the
Square
percentage
footage, right?
of square footage, of your home office. So like, I think that gets abused pretty often because like, who's gonna measure your fucking square footage of your house? You know? Like,
But if it's
like,
reasonable, they're probably not going to check, right?
if it's reasonable, yeah, then you're probably not gonna get audited. But if you're like claiming like a shit ton of like business expenses, then it's like, I think it's a red flag.
Is there like a percentage that you shouldn't go over?
I'd say like 25% is like max, because who else's home offices?
You're saying 25% just for home offices, not like total expenses.
Oh yeah. Just I was talking about like from a home office perspective.
Okay,
Like,
that makes
it
sense.
shouldn't exceed 25% of your house.
Would
So
you say it's better just to not expense home offices then to avoid getting audited?
No, I mean if your office is actually in your house, then yeah, take advantage of that.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, realistically, your office space, you're not going to be saving a shit ton. Like the
I
only
think it
reason
still
you would,
adds up though.
yeah, I mean, like what's your office is going to be like max 20 feet by 20 feet, maybe.
400 square feet, that's still a decent
Tax
amount.
wise, you're not going to be, that's not a huge amount of savings,
But
right?
that's, well, so I think between home office and utilities.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you, okay. I mean, if you're saving like a couple $100 in taxes, I don't think that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
I don't see the IRS going after you. Now, if you're like expensing like 1,000 square foot, then I think that's an issue.
I think
Yeah.
that will trigger an audit, and then obviously just like not listing all your sources of income will probably trigger an audit. But
Yeah.
I think it's pretty random. Other than that,
I mean, this year I will owe, but I did expense a lot, but I still owe. So I want to make sure that, well, I don't know if it's I want to make sure, but I think that, I'm hoping that because I owe that I won't be audited. Just because my situation this year is really complex, or last year was really complex.
Yeah, I don't think that really makes a difference, and like a big difference, or any difference at all, because like it all depends on, let's say you made like tax payments during the year, that just makes your tax liability less when it comes time to pay, April 15th or July 15th in this case. So it's all of like, it's kind of like timing, like of when you want to pay or not,
Yeah.
So, question I have is, does net operating income or loss, does that affect anything being audited?
I think it's. I think you're more likely to get audited if it's like you have a big, you have like a net operating gain, and then next year you have a big net operating loss, like just like big swings like that. But otherwise, I see a lot of businesses that I do taxes for that have a net operating loss, so it just carries over to the next year, and I haven't seen any of them get audited, so.
Okay. I feel like we're just putting Nikhil at work right now.
I mean, you guys are asking good questions, and like, the part, my expertise is like, I'd say kind of limited to, like, it's hard to always answer like general questions, just because like I'm used to like just the straight up work aspect of it, not actually like really thinking about like the bigger picture, like everyone has a different situation, so it's hard to like gauge every
Right. That makes
every situation. I can see what other things. Glad I have Google.
Do you do the taxes for your whole family?
No, my dad's a tax whiz himself.
Ah,
So,
Nikhil's
yeah,
like, fuck that shit. I'm not.
yeah, yeah. He has his own like small business with the government. He does government contracting, so he pays himself his own salary. It's really low. I don't know what
Nice.
he like. He even qualified for the stimulus check. So
nice.
I don't know what he does. I'm not sure if it's like.
Well, there's an art to it,
I'm
right?
sure it's ethical, but I don't. Yeah, it's definitely art to it.
It's
deciding how
what
much you wanna
everyone
pay
would
yourself.
do. It's like the situation. If you have your own company, your goal is you're trying to make it so that you're not like paying yourself a salary. I have like friends who have companies and they don't like. There's this guy I know. He does a consulting business and he doesn't pay himself a salary. It's like through some back-channeled way, and that's just how it works.
Does he? I guess does he get distributions or something, or really?
I don't know if he's like the expenses are causing his salary to be zero, but eventually he might be paying himself such a low salary that it's like outside of the realm of it being illegal, but it's also enough so that he doesn't get anything.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of normal. So,
like
I'm
on
just
paper,
looking at-
it should be like you shouldn't be able to afford to live, but technically it works.
technically, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at what triggers an audit consistently, and it's mostly like I said with the home office deduction, and then not reporting all your income correctly. It also says like not completing certain forms, and there's also like considering your car to be like 100% of like business use vehicle. That also gets a little dicey because like you're gonna use your card for personal reasons too. So I think claiming too many expenses related to that could also trigger an audit. I think it's kind of hard to trigger an audit, to be honest. Like you got to be doing some weird shit, and you better have all those receipts ready just in case you do. So, yeah.
All right, we're almost at an hour. I think we're good for the podcast, but
Yeah.
what I was going to suggest is maybe we should do a quick intro and can you do something else?
I was like reading a book.
It's just like, oh
and I
shit.
dozed off.
Oops.
Do you do like a nap after work every day?
I guess I do a nap to avoid doing work, but it gets done eventually. So
You're
I think
what, like,
I consider myself one of the better employees. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
As long as you're not on the bottom, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I like just touched on base with the partner yesterday. They're all like behind because they have to sign the final returns. They have to like do a final check and stuff.
Right.
So, they have to go into the office and do that. And if they're only going into the office like once or twice a week, there's only like so many returns they can sign and review. So that's kind of like holding back the whole process. It's like making the process way longer than it should be.
Right.
But, it's not my fault, though.
Yeah, no, you're wrong.
Something I could say.
You just turned, what, 25?
I turned 26.
26?
Oh, yeah. Happy belated.
Thanks, man.
We need to celebrate when all this ends. Like, we need to meet up at Zombie Village, because last time I saw you there, I was like, I think that's Nikhil, but I'm not sure. Which I thought was hilarious. But
can you imagine the number of birthdays and weddings that are delayed?
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, I don't think we're going to be able to celebrate my birthday because it's going to be like 25 other birthdays to celebrate.
My sister's birthday is actually this Saturday.
Oh shit.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but
As far as I'm concerned, I just hope I can celebrate next year's birthday. That's what I'm already thinking about.
YOLO.
But yeah, I don't want to be stuck. Like I'm not. I honestly like, other than the fact that I can't go to the gym. Like I said, I'm not impacted too much. But I'm curious to see like what it does to people's like mental health and stuff. Like, I don't think people are meant to be isolated so long.
I can see it affecting some people, a lot of people, but it honestly doesn't bother me. Like I've been working at home all the time since I've moved here, so I'm kind of used to it. But I think I'm a different situation than most people.
Yeah.
I'm usually
really
pretty
introverted right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm naturally introverted, so it's fine. But I mean, at some point, I feel like I'm gonna appreciate it so much more, because before it was like I don't know what to do. Now it's like anything you do is gonna be fun. Like fucking just going to like a coffee shop is gonna be interesting now, because you weren't able to do that. Like before, if I went to a city, I'd be like, I don't know what there's to do. Or if I go out, I'm like, there's like the normal stuff, but
maybe it'll motivate you to find the one, David.
Yeah.
Your story will be like, oh, I met my wife at a coffee shop after COVID-19 because I was more inclined to live my life more.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, right now I'm feeling like I really want a vacation, but like now that I think about it, being at home, just working from home is kind of like a whole vacation itself. So I feel like I'm gonna miss all this time that I'm wanting to go outside and explore things. I think I'm gonna regret just letting all this time go to waste.
And you would think you would be using this time for like, if you had a hobby or something you want to catch up on. But I realize I'm not really catching up on shit either.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like, they're just like, it's just kind of hard to focus, I think, right now.
Well, the other thing is I was talking to David, I think last week, is like in this situation, how do you go on a date with a girl? Because you really can't. So was your first date be like a video chat, a Zoom chat, be like, hey there? That'd be kind of
Well, what you can do is, I'm not a big fan of Skype dates or like talking to someone through a phone.
Right.
I'd rather text someone.
Right.
But it's really easy to secure a date now if you were to do that. Like, be like, hey, maybe when this is all over, let's go out for a drink. Like that's really easy, and any girl will say yes right now.
But then what if people have dates lined up? Like they're just queuing up dates from like right now to whatever.
Well, then you gotta queue them up too. So if it doesn't work out,
you just go on like a group date. You have like 10 Skype videos at once. You're just like asking each one a question. Oh, you didn't pass. I'm gonna disconnect you.
Just
that's
get
terrible,
like 20
David.
dates.
That's terrible.
Just get like 20 dates lined up, so like at least one works out.
I hope so.
Because like every girl's is gonna want to go on a date. They're single right now. Like,
I'm just thinking about what about the single people not getting laid?
Oh yeah.
Well, what about the couples that are like stuck at home with a divorce rate?
I heard about that, like Wuhan, like either a lot of people got divorced or a lot of people end up wanting to get married, or some, not a lot, but some wanted to get married.
It's insane.
Or do you think like the birth rate is gonna bump up a little bit 9 months from now?
Well,
I think it'll bounce out.
Now it's from when people can go out and date and fuck. Or, I don't know. What are you talking about? People that are like couples right now.
I'm talking about couples at home with nothing else to do.
Oh yeah, you might be right.
I think it balances out with the people that can't fornicate. Like, people are stuck at home are gonna be trying to.
For a second, I thought you meant like the people that were dying, and I was like, shit, that was dark. But then I just realized that's just myself.
My last wish is to have a kid.
People who are like dying who can't have kids. Fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is a lot of people that are dying are old, so they probably already had kids.
Damn.
Like, I don't know. It's a scary thing to think about.
Yeah. If I ever like start having a cough, I'd be so freaked out. Because even if you go to the hospital, it's like you're gonna go in. You could not have COVID and have like some regular flu or something, and then you just going to the hospital, you get COVID.
Yeah, that's really scary to think about too. Like you don't want to go to the hospital right now. Like, you
We're
want to
supposed
avoid
to go to the
getting hurt.
hospital. Like some people trying to avoid not going to the hospital, but if you have a serious condition, you should definitely still go.
No,
That's
but
true.
like what David was saying, like you could actually end up getting worse, like by getting sick.
Yeah.
That's scary to think about. Like let's say you just have something that's not emergency, like then you should avoid going to the hospital. But
Right. Like you just want to get tested. Maybe you don't have it, but going to the hospital, you accidentally get it.
Oh, yeah.
well, I think there's a lot of sites set up now where you don't have to
But if
go
it's
to the
something
hospital.
important enough, you should still go to the hospital. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not worth dying over, even though you could die.
Even though you could die going to the hospital.
You're just taking your chances at this point, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know.
They said the U.S. passed 60,000 deaths. That's more than the Vietnam War.
Damn.
There are also like 1 billion confirmed cases or something now.
They might have to start building hospitals for like separate hospitals for COVID patients.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
That would be terrible, but that actually makes a lot of sense. I feel. The crazy thing is though, there's a lot more hospitals like closing down than hospitals opening up. So that's a big issue.
Really? Why are they closing down?
Yeah. Why?
They don't have enough like PPE, and probably funding.
Oh.
They probably need the funding the most, right?
Man, talk about funding. There was a guy who has like this small business. I think he only has like a handful of employees. And when Trump was tweeting out like, "Oh, we need ventilators," he tweeted back to Trump in like a one DM tweet where he's like, "Hey, I can make ventilators. Please contact me." And the government gave him $69 million. And it was like $47,000 per ventilator, something like that. And he didn't deliver any.
Oh my god!
Like the money's just gone. It's just like whatever.
Those ventilator facilities are like top notch. Like they're so clean and they're so nice, like pristine.
I heard that some of the ventilators that Trump provided or given through the government were actually faulty.
Yeah, they don't really work, right?
Yeah, either I don't know if they didn't really work or they just were faulty straight up. Like they just didn't work at all. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I keep hearing about PP&E, and from an accountant, you think of property, plant, and equipment, but it's actually personal protective equipment. So I was like, why? What's this PP&E about? Like what? Yeah, it's its whole another name.
The whole tax.
I think that's like pretty similar, it's both equipment, but the first two P's mean something different. So.
I mean, they I don't know who's making masks now. I keep hearing there's shortages.
Well, so I think Taiwan had an agreement where they would give the Americans masks, and then the Americans would give them ventilators or something. I feel like Taiwan's getting fucked if they don't work. But I think I heard something about the Taiwanese government providing funding for mask production. So right now they're able to produce a shit ton of masks. And I think I read something about them donating masks to a whole bunch of other countries, even though the WHO won't recognize them as a member of the WHO or as a country. Super fucked up. But.
Taiwan gave Georgia like 200,000 masks.
Georgia, like the state
country
Georgia
or
or
the
the country Georgia?
No, the country
the state.
gave the state like 200,000 masks.
Yeah, they're donating masks to a whole bunch of other countries.
And then we have stupid cases like in Georgia where there was like 2 people who ingested disinfectant.
No, I heard that happened somewhere. Like someone's joking around, it's like drink something to disinfect yourself. Just
No,
like
it's because
bleach dangerous.
yeah, because Trump
You're in
said
America.
like you should inject disinfect, or he kind of like
He was pretty
subtly implied
serious.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And
Trump said, right?
yeah, and then two Georgia people, of course it's Georgia, they were like, oh, I'm gonna drink bleach or some crazy shit. They're like, yeah, it works, and they fucking, and now they're like dead.
Fucking retards.
Those- They deserve that.
I just
I'm
don't know
sorry.
if it's natural selection, right?
Yeah.
I also don't know if Trump's just an idiot or if he's a troll or a combination of both. I think it's a combination, to be honest.
You
He
would
used
think
to be a troll, but like I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
I thought him running for president was this whole like being a troll, but then he won. So
I thought he was being a
joke's
troll
on.
for for running for president too, but then I think he's like, oh fuck, I won. Now time to troll America.
Yeah. Then it was like as it got closer, you're like, oh fuck, he might actually win.
But he actually
Well-
might get reelected. I don't know.
I think
Oh,
he will too.
he will.
Yeah.
He will.
I don't see enough people voting for Biden. I also don't get like all these candidates that dropped out endorsing Biden over like,
Andrew
Sanders.
Yang.
Yeah, Andrew Yang. Come on.
Who would you?
I
Okay,
mean-
so between Biden and Bernie, who would you rather pick?
I'd say Bernie because he was
I
like
Bernie too.
he was like up for like all these measures that we're getting right now. Like
Yeah.
healthcare is a big concern. This whole stimulus idea was Andrew Yang's idea anyway. What the fuck?
$1,000 per person per month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's a bit excessive. But I mean, that's the goal. Like, it's to get people to spend the money so it gets back into the economy. It's the whole idea of a stimulus package. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
'cause
I'm saving all my money. I'm not really spending it into the economy.
We're about to get 10K back too soon, so
Really?
Who?
aren't you going to get your 10K deposit back once you move out?
10K. Oh, yeah. Oh, 5K.
Oh,
I have
okay.
to give the other 5K to my old roommate.
Would you
That'd
say
be
fuck
nice.
him? Just say
Well,
fuck
then
him?
he's got to place a deposit on the new place, so it's
Exactly.
basically like
Don't wash.
wash.
It's
Yeah.
like half of it gets washed.
Are you living in like a townhouse?
It's a house, right?
Honestly, this a house. It has like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. So one of my roommates, get this. I've only seen him like single-digit times. I don't know.
What the hell is he?
He's in Sacramento with his family. He's like this quiet Asian dude that graduated from Stanford that rips dabs in his bathroom. Like
Nice.
I never see him. He's like OCD clean, which is great. Like he's what you think of it as like a perfect roommate. Like he's never here. Like, I've been using his bathroom for the past 2 months. Like, and he's been paying rent. I'm like, oh,
Nice.
dude, like you're really not. I feel kind of bad for him. Like I don't even get why he's paying rent. But he was cool with it. He like sends me the rent like a week in advance too. Like
That's nice.
best roommate ever, man.
Nice.
Thank you, Craigslist. But I guess he got lucky because he didn't have to pay a deposit though,
Mm.
and he's like month to month.
So you have like a yard too, since it's a house.
Yeah, we got a backyard. It's nice for like grilling and stuff. Just chilling. I don't really use it that much though. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. But the only downside is I'm in the hood, right? So
You are good.
yeah.
Is it that bad though?
Is it? Yeah.
It gets kind of bad when it's like during the day. It's nice out. There's a lot
Not
of like,
at night?
there's a lot of like pranksters out there.
You mean at night it gets bad?
No, during the day, like, because at night it gets kind of cold, so there's not that many people outside. But like peak day hours, there's like
Is it ghetto?
about 20 extra people on the street with like cars being double parked and shit. It's basically the perfect street to buy drugs off. Like,
Have you
street
seen like
drugs.
drug dealers?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Do you buy from
it's
them?
just like Nah, I don't know what they're selling. It's probably like crack.
Jesus.
So
Nah,
your place is
no.
in the hood, but the rent is 3,800.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because the house is like recently renovated, like new appliances. I have a huge bedroom.
But 3,800 is considered cheap for the city.
Yeah, so like this house would probably, if it was anywhere else, it'd be like 6K.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because like normally you can only get like an apartment for that same price, like 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom for 4K.
Right?
That's like the average SF price, if not more.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at rentals each month, especially if it's been vacant a lot, you can see landlords are now like taking $100 to $200 off the rent. So it's like perfect time to move. It's honestly it makes being a landlord even worse right now. Like, I feel bad
You
for
can't
landlords.
evict anyone either right now.
Yeah, you can't evict anyone. Like SF laws are just flawed against the landlord. I just don't know why in any scenario you'd want to be a landlord. Like shit. I don't think it's worth the risk. Right? I don't know.
What about the new place you're looking for? Are you looking for like one roommate, two roommates?
No, just one other one. It's gonna be nice. Like another working professional.
So I read that. I just saw an article on this. It says the PPP loan forgiveness is not counted as taxable income. But then it says that companies who receive PPP loans won't be able to do tax deductions.
Wait, so did you guys? I don't think you guys received stimulus checks, right? You're probably making more.
I got part of the $1,200 check, and then I also got the PPP loan because my salary is high enough.
Oh, so they probably start like tinkering down on how much you can get once you pass like a certain amount.
Well,
like,
so my salary
every
was
dollar over.
well, so my salary was under the 75K limit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't filed my returns for 2019. So they went off based off my 2018 salary, which is higher than that. So they gave me a prorated amount, even though I'm technically supposed to get the full 1,200.
Oh, that's annoying. You should have filed, man.
I know I should have, because also I'm sure the IRS owes me like a substantial amount of money. Because I accidentally filed a 1040 SE. So I filed like a whole bunch of extra taxes, like a whole quarter's worth of taxes. So I should have done it. Like I really should do it because if anything, I'm owed money from the IRS.
Yeah, you should do it because if you owe money, you should be making the interest on that.
Yeah, my cheap ass is just waiting for.
Just too lazy.
No, I'm just waiting for a cheap copy of TurboTax.
Cheap copy.
Is that gonna happen?
It's a terrible excuse.
I haven't got to that part where I have to like pay for TurboTax yet. Good. I mean, that's my W-2, so.
I mean, our filings are extended until July anyway, so.
Oh, so you just use the free TurboTax?
I can't.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, my taxes are really simple, so that's why I don't need to.
Yeah, but I thought it was only for like people who make like 70K or 60K or something who can use a free TurboTax.
Yeah, I only make like 70K.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm pretty underpaid, but like.
I feel like you should be making way more than that considering you're working in the city.
Yeah, I'm still like on my like, I'll call it my rookie contract.
Is that like the out? No, but you graduated from college. This isn't your first job, right?
No, this isn't my first job, but it's like my first job in tax accounting. So I got hired like in January 2019, and it was like at 61K, and then they bumped up my salary to like 70K this year.
That's so low for the city.
It's really low, yeah, but I think that's why I got a job initially because like they paid me so low.
Yeah,
Right.
make your way up the ladder, I guess.
So is that like the intro salary for the employees at your company is like 60, 70?
Yeah, I would say the average is like 90. The senior tax accountants.
No,
But
Tina
the
said.
juniors are like 60K.
Wow.
So
Tina
yeah.
said that's normal for accountants, 70K.
Yeah, you know, there's like you don't really make much as accountants, to be honest.
Yeah, she
but-
said 70. Oh, Tina's saying it's 70K is normal for like someone with 2 or 3 years of experience.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's
Wow.
why I'm kind of enticed by some other offers that are like senior
Yeah.
tax accountant paying 6 figures. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah, dude.
you're talking my language.
But here's
But,
the thing,
you know,
like,
I
you
don't
may
wanna
end up
leave.
working a lot more hours than you currently are, so.
Yeah, I might be miserable too. I'm like really happy with my
Sometimes
current
it's
job
worth it.
situation.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
it's worth not getting paid more.
Yeah. Write it out until, like I said, I can't learn anything further. Then I'll definitely want to leave. But I don't think right now with the whole thing going on, is definitely a bad time to leave a company. It's like no job security whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, there's no reason to leave right now, for sure.
You know.
But,
I think they'll probably bump my salary up though once.
Yeah.
Probably next year or something. I don't know.
Did you have to ask for a bump or did they just give it to you?
Well, they gave it to me because I finally got my CPA. So, what happens with CPAs, unfortunately, is you don't get paid overtime. So they have to compensate one way or the other. So what they did was they bumped my overall salary up. So, you know, last year I earned like 67K, like 6K in bonuses. So like technically they only bumped my salary up by like 3K. But this year they're not doing overtime.
Bonuses are bullshit. Bonus, you get like what, 50% of your bonus because the rest of
bonus is bullshit.
It's like you're getting paid for performing well, but then you get taxed more than. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Overtime is so fucking stupid because you get paid 1.5 times, and then like you get taxed like 1.5 times.
Oh, overtime tax rate is higher? It's not considered just like regular income?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if overtime and bonuses are treated the same, but I assume they were.
Is it? That would suck because sometimes you are forced to kind of work overtime, and then if you get taxed the same as a bonus, that's ridiculous because sometimes it's out of your control.
Yeah, I don't think overtime's treated as a bonus, but like I did get like a bonus for Christmas. It's like 3K, so I feel like that gets taxed ridiculously.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how payroll does that, like how they like categorize it, but that's like something I don't really have to worry about, thankfully.
My company doesn't give overtime, at least for our group. Everyone is just salaried. So it's like good and bad. It's like, well, you know what you're going to get, but then at least depending on the role you have, some people, they work weekends. It sucks. I don't do that shit.
Lucky you.
Well, because I have a rule, like after 5 p.m., you can't contact me.
Damn, son.
You have to establish the guidelines. Like I slowly worked at this. Like when I first started this company, I was coming in at like 7:50 a.m. and then every day I would just come in a minute or two later and later. And now I walk in the office at like 8:30, 8:45. Then I'm out at 5.
Chill.
I think when I was a salaried employee, as the time progressed, I would start just leaving work earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm the only one doing my job, and I think as long as I'm doing my job and it doesn't affect anyone else, no one else is complaining, who cares? It's like, if I get my shit done, why does it matter?
It's true. I don't think it should.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're not affecting anyone else, you're getting your shit done, no one should bitch about it.
And
Yeah, I
as
feel
long
like
as
I'm in the opposite boat. I'll take longer to get my shit done, so I end up working longer hours.
Okay.
Kind of sucks, but I mean, you gotta get the work done, right?
Yeah, especially during tax season, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's that seasonality.
Yeah,
Are you
typically
still
we have overtime. We work overtime like February to April and then
Mhm.
August to October. So that whole timeline got
That's Tina's
screwed
well.
over.
Yeah.
Like, she finished last week, and now she's like, so free. Because she
Are
would
you
work Saturdays and Sundays as well.
Alex, you still billing hours?
Yeah. But my company hasn't really been giving me more work, so I don't know if they're going to give me more, or there's going to, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm probably going to intentionally cut hours. So
Mm.
I also need, it's mainly because I need to start doing my own stuff, which I've not been very good about. Like, I've done some more blog posts this time around this year, but I'm still pretty far behind on trying to do my own thing instead of contracting.
It's hard to bill hours. I feel like I have to bill 8 hours every day, and
Yeah,
I
well, I mean,
struggle with it.
but do you have one client or multiple clients?
I have multiple clients, which makes it easy
Yeah,
to spread out.
I only have one client, so
Oh shit, that's a
it's
lot
basically,
of
I'm
hours
basically
on
just
one client.
I'm just basically contracting for the company. I was working as an employee back in Atlanta, so
Yeah,
the thing is, like, it's I'm trusting them, but they could drop me at any time.
that's kind of scary. Not much
Yeah,
civil
but I'm
servants.
banking on the fact that like, since I'm the only one that does my job, they're not going to drop me. But also,
Yeah.
they're construction related. So, like, the business they have is directly correlated to construction. So they've actually had more sales recently
Yeah.
than
I,
before.
I've been feeling it in Atlanta actually. Like during this whole lockdown time, they have decided to do all the roadwork projects right now.
Well,
I don't
thank God,
get
because
that.
they need to. Atlanta's roads are so shitty.
They need to, but they're not like. I don't know if it's the same for Atlanta, but in San Francisco, they start a project and they don't finish it. Like there's so
Like
many
fucking Van
ongoing.
Ness, dude. Van Ness is never ending.
There's so much ongoing construction, and I just don't. I don't really get why would you open up another area. Like I know it's to like bill more, like contract more employees and shit like that, like some bullshit. But like the concept of like starting and finishing a project, like is that not? I don't know. Is that
Well,
is that not
I
a
wonder if it's
concept to them?
cheaper right now because there's maybe less disruptions. They can get it done quicker.
I
I
think
don't,
it's
Yeah, that's what I thought, but there's so much it just doesn't get done. I don't really get.
yeah, I don't know either, man. But it's
They try
interesting.
to do like multiple miles at once, and I feel
Yeah,
like it
like
backfires.
I'm in Lower Pack Heights, and they're doing a whole bunch of road construction right now, which I think is interesting. But they really need to finish Van Ness. That's been like a multi-year project, and I feel like they're never gonna finish. It's stupid. Ridiculous.
Other countries finish projects in like one day, and fucking U.S.
yes.
takes forever.
It's crazy. Like if you
Like
go
Japan, something happened in Japan, they fix it like the same day.
well, same with China too. Like, and part of it is the government. It's like we force you to. Whereas in the U.S., it's like, oh well, we're a capitalist country, so there's a contract that's negotiated and all this stuff. In like Asia, it's like the government tells you to do it, you do it.
Yeah, and the way the contract's set out is they actually don't want to finish the work immediately, otherwise then they can't keep billing time to it.
Right.
to keep it ongoing. It's some bullshit though.
You said you don't have a car, right?
No, I do have a car.
So, do you have a garage at your place?
No, but where I live there's no permit parking, so you can street park anywhere.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, actually, a lot of SF they don't force you to get a permit, so you can street park it pretty much throughout most of the city except like downtown. I know there's like a bunch of different zones, like I think like 16 to 20 different parking zones where like you might have to get a different permit, but I've been pretty lucky.
I've been doing this thing with my car insurance where you can lower the annual mileage and it'll lower your premium. I've heard a lot of people doing it now because of the stay at home.
Yeah, I have Geico and they like dropped my insurance to half. I didn't even do it. I didn't even like call them or anything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. That was really nice of them, but I'm like surprised.
Why Geico? Is it just the cheapest?
Yeah, I was only paying like 120 a month. Now it's
You're
like
paying 120 a month? What the
That's
fuck?
a lot.
I'm paying. Hold on. I'm paying 220 for 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm with Progressive though. But do you have full coverage or liability?
I think it's full coverage.
Okay, I was paying like $450 for 6 months full coverage.
Dang, it was still like a better quote than I was getting anywhere else.
That's crazy, dude.
120 a month. That is ridiculous.
Well, you know what though? When I was
check.
younger, it might have been $1,200 full coverage a year. So that's about right.
Yeah, I think I'm probably reaching an age where they trust me a little more.
But I feel like it's usually 25 or older was when they start dropping rates.
Well, they better drop that shit soon. I mean, I thought I was getting a steal, so guess not.
My car's pretty old too.
Shit.
I have a 2016. I'm paying full coverage on it, but my insurance is $500 for every 6 months.
Full coverage, right?
Full coverage, but I'm like.
Well, you have like multi insurance discount or something, right?
I guess, but it shouldn't be that much.
I was paying like, I thought originally I was paying 120, but then they dropped to like $95, and now it's like $68. So I don't know if it's because of COVID or maybe because I'm older. I didn't ask.
Some insurance companies were giving like 15% on renewals. I think I missed it by like 5 days, and I kind of want to call in and be like, "Hey, can you drop it?" But for me, that's like $30 for 6 months. I'm just like,
dang.
I'm lazy now. I'm just like, if I was younger, I'd call and do it. But I'm like, $30 for 6 months. That's like $5 a month. Now, if it was $15 per month, I would call and be like, "Yeah, can you drop that shit?"
Yeah.
Well, how much do you guys pay for healthcare? So I had to switch yesterday.
Pay up the ass because I'm self-employed.
Oh shit! How much is it? Like $300?
$370.
$370 a month.
$370 for an HDHP plan. So it's like I think the deductible is like $6,000.
Oh.
It's through the state of California, right?
Crazy.
Or what's your coverage?
Yeah.
Like.
Was that?
Is it through like the California?
How
does that work?
Cover California, yes, it's through Cover California, but I don't really like because of my salary. I don't really get any benefits, so it's slightly cheaper. But it was like $351 last year, and this year's $367.
Damn.
What's for shitty coverage? It's like the minimum coverage basically.
A month?
That's a lot.
That's ridiculous.
It is, but I'm self-employed, so no one's paying for my insurance. But me.
Damn,
I'm
dude.
so tempted to just drop it because it's fucking $4,000.
No, you need health insurance though.
Yeah, you kind of do. Like
You need it now.
for emergencies, like
You
anything
definitely need it now.
life-threatening.
Yeah. My plan actually was really cheap. It was like the basic was like $15 a month, and then the premium was like $50 a month.
It's
So I
probably
just opted for the most expensive. Just,
yeah, I think it's because your company probably covers the base insurance, and then you just pay for anything extra.
yeah.
What is the what is the provider for you, Nikhil?
Oh fuck.
got
I should
Kaiser.
know because it's Kaiser, and then there's Delta Dental.
Uh,
See, I don't even have dental or vision, just because that's extra money. I can't afford that shit, man. I can't.
Yeah, I
afford
think
15.
dental's extra too. I'm
It
not
usually
sure.
is, but it's a very low amount for dental or vision. I think my company originally didn't cover dental, and now they do.
Oh, that's nice.
But I'm not an employee anymore, so I don't get any of those benefits.
and they don't
Yeah.
do you moved your 401k too, right? Because they're no longer matching that.
Yeah, so I moved it over into my own IRA account. And I
Nice.
haven't contributed to it since I moved here, so I need to contribute.
You need to contribute because it's going to lower your income even more.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
you should max
basically,
it
I'm
out.
just taking my pre-tax income and putting it into a 401 or IRA.
You put like 6,500 without being tax deductible, right?
Right? Because it's all pre-tax contributions.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that.
I need to make myself a Roth. Oh, I'm one.
Yeah, I might at some point I'll probably create a Roth as well, because you can do like 65 into each one or something like that.
Yeah.
Does
You
your
should roll over it. No, they
Yeah,
don't-
Alex, you might want a Roth because I don't think you're paying yourself a high salary.
I'm not.
I don't think it's worth it a pre-tax
Why not?
because your salary's not high, so your tax rate right now should be pretty low.
Yeah, but then that means less of my paycheck is taxed too right now.
No, if when you put into Roth, whatever you put in is going to be taxed before you put it in.
Post-tax, yeah.
Right, and your
Comes out-
tax rate right
comes out
now
of-
should be pretty low.
I may actually do that just to simplify things. Because I gotta if I do the contribution to an IRA, I gotta figure out payroll wise how to do that. Versus if I contribute to a Roth IRA, I can just take it from my bank account and just throw it in there.
Hmm.
And then that means that I don't have to do a set amount. Like if I need to make up payments by the end of like any time this year, I could probably just dump in however much I want. It doesn't have to be like a set amount per month or something I want through the payroll basically. That's actually a good idea. Like what I'm saying is, for instance, right now is May. Instead of dividing 6,500 over 12 months, I feel like with the Roth IRA, I could just be like, if I want to dump in 6,500 right now, I could. Or I could wait till December 30th and dump in 6,500.
You could always dump in 6,500.
I'm saying with an IRA, usually you take a percentage of your paycheck and then put it in every month. I don't know how it would work.
Oh, I mean that's just what you tell the company to pull out. Like
right.
you could tell the company 0 over like the first 11 months, and then at the 12th month you can do exactly 6,500.
Yeah, but I got to figure that out myself. But also, my paycheck is not $6,500 for the whole month, so there's no way I can dump in 6,500 the last month of the year.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
But I could just do that with a Roth IRA. Just be like, hey, any time of the year, since it's post-tax contributions, I'm pretty sure I could just dump that in whenever I want. It's as long as I don't exceed 6,500.
Yeah, but I think it in between the paycheck coming out of your paycheck or a personal Roth, I think it's the same. Like it's 6,500 overall, regardless of.
I thought it was 6,500 for each account.
No, it's.
Is 6,500 combined?
I'm pretty sure it's your entire Roth.
No, Roth or retirement.
not per account. Like all your overall contributions to a Roth IRA account.
Right.
If it's non 401k, the max is like 6,500
Right. But
for everything, not per.
So are you talking about a Roth IRA account, or are you talking about IRA accounts overall?
Roth.
I think it's overall.
I think it's overall. Yeah. It's
Oh.
not just
I
Roth.
mean, 401ks are different. But...
401k is like 19,000 because it's employer backed, but for a Roth, whether it's traditional or for an IRA, whether it's traditional or Roth, I think the overall doesn't matter how many accounts you have. I think the overall is 6,500.
Well, then in my case, I'll just dump 6,500 into my Roth IRA and call it a day.
Let me take that back. I think for the traditional, if you do a pre-tax IRA, there's no limit. You could.
Yeah. So
you
regular
could put
IRA
over 6,500.
Pre-tax is a regular IRA. Post-tax is Roth IRA, right?
Right. So pre-tax, I believe there's no limit.
No, there's a limit for regular IRA as well.
Oh, that was the same. I thought it was 6,500 for both. The only thing is for a Roth, you can't take. There's no immediate tax benefit for contribution.
Yeah, I thought 6,500 per. But I could be wrong.
I have to look this up. I thought, and I've looked at this before. I feel like for a Roth there's a limit, but if it's a traditional, there's no limit because you're gonna be paying taxes. Period.
For a Roth, you're not paying taxes.
I mean, both you're paying taxes, but
so
whatever
Roth,
you contribute into a Roth, you already paid taxes on it technically already.
Exactly.
And then IRA is tax deferred, so you basically pay taxes when you
withdraw
your
when you get distribution. Yeah.
Right.
I think I would rather just.
I think it's actually better to do post-tax contributions because you never know what the tax rate is going to be when you withdraw, and what if it's based off of what if the tax rate is based off of your most recent salary? Because as you get older, your tax rate is going to go up.
Right. So you should be Rothing before you hit like a salary. Once you hit like some certain level, you got to be going pre-tax.
What's the growth on it? I don't really. That's why I haven't invested in. Like I haven't looked into.
Just whatever you want to put your money in, right?
Whatever you want to invest.
It's basically you just put it in a fund, like an index fund or stocks.
But so you could actually end up losing. Like you could end up not getting any of it back.
The idea is if you want to be safe, the idea is you just put in an index fund, like a target index fund. So like let's say you're going to retire in 2060. So you put your money in the 2060 index fund, and by 2060 you should be able to have enough to retire as long as you put enough money in.
I would say right now, if you can contribute to 401k or Roth, you should, because the stocks market is down right now. So the buying power of what you put in should be more.
Because the idea is that
I would be down for 401k if they matched, the employer matches, but I don't have any. We don't really have any kind of.
They don't match.
Compensation plans.
Oh shit!
Not yet.
David, USO went up to $19.29 a share.
I thought you said they did a back split.
They did, but it was at 18 and now it's at 19.29.
Oh, so it went up. Are they just like trying to inflate the price?
I think so, but I'm fine with that because I bought a
lot.
About hold on, what was it? I bought 400 shares.
Oil should go up once transportation's coming back, and states are like pushing to come back. Yeah. Everyone wants to come back. Maybe some are being a little too antsy and jumping the gun, but I think overall the mentality is everyone wants to have the economy back, and that kind of like wave of sentiment is pushing the economy back.
How much did I buy at?
I felt like you bought at like 2 something.
I bought it at $250. So if it was about $1,000 worth at $250.
You say it reversed like a 2-to-1?
Yeah, so it went to end up being 18. Anyway, 1,000. I think it was 1,000 at $20. So I had 50 shares. 50 at 19.29.
That doesn't seem right. That seems like way too much.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so originally it was $1,000, right? $1,000 worth of shares at $250 each. That was
$250,000.
That was 400. That was
400 shares.
But then since they do a reverse stock split, they basically took the value then, and then gave me 50 shares or something.
Yeah. So whatever 19 divided by 250 is what? That's like.
But basically, I'm still $35 down. They fucked me over because I was hoping it would just like stay at like 2, and then after a while it just keep going back up to $12. But I got fucked. Ish. I mean, I'm still like only $30 down, but. We'll see.
Hey guys, I gotta hop off soon. I gotta get some work done.
All right, man. Yeah. Thanks for the podcast. I hope it wasn't too boring, but.
No, I mean I hope it's not boring for our listeners, but I was intrigued.
Yeah.
But let's definitely grab a drink or something when all the shit goes away.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me over on, especially because I called in like almost an hour late.
You good, man?
Problem.
We're just chatting. So
cool. Well,
thanks for joining.
Hopefully talk to you guys soon, man. Stay safe.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Avoid touching things. Wear gloves.
For sure.
Cover your mouths. All right.
Yeah, stay safe.
Peace, guys.
See ya.
I'm going to.
That's all for this week. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and tune in next week for more stories about what has got us shaking our heads.